I'm Alec Bean.
And I'm Brady Levinson, and let's get into episode 20 of Big Boy Boomin Bets.
So, last week, combined 1-5 for me and Brady.
Not good.
Not good. This week, though, we're betting with stuff that we know about.
For the most part.
For the most part. So it should be a better week. We do have ball knowledge, I promise. We just decided to say, hey, let's get really gross last week. Yeah. It was mid-major madness. You couldn't not get gross.
Exactly. Don't worry, there's still a little bit of that, kind of.
Oh, there is a little bit of that.
Yeah.
So I'm going to start off this week. Lock of the week. Ball knowledge. Georgetown minus 4.5 against DePaul. In the first round of the Big East tournament, they're at minus 120 for this spread. I forgot what it was called for a second. Georgetown is a team that they didn't play too well in the Big East, but this is also DePaul. I know they lost to DePaul at one point this year, but it's okay. Actually, they lost to DePaul twice. Actually, wow, I'm looking at that now.
They did?
Yep. Yeah. I'm not switching my pick though.
No.
I think that this Georgetown team, they're sneaky. If they really want to get it going, they can. They beat Nova. Nova's the 6th seed in the Big East tournament. Not much else to say. I think I'm going to go with Georgetown here. Ed Cooley is still a great coach. I think he's going to outcoach DePaul tonight. Minus 120, 4.5. Lock it in.
I love it. Tournament season's a whole different type of breed. Last night, St. Mary's had beat Gonzaga twice in the regular season.
Yeah.
I might have picked St. Mary's to win, and then they lost.
Might have picked the Gales.
Yeah. So I got a little notification that said, St. Mary's is 2-0 against Gonzaga. You should take them at plus 150. I'm like, all right, that sounds great to me. And then they lost.
Yeah.
Anyways. All right. No losing today, though. My lock of the week, we're also going with some ball knowledge. We're staying in the Big East here. Butler money line over Providence at minus 120 now. I see why this game, at first I'm like, I don't know why it's so close, but both these teams have just really been bad lately.
Yeah.
Providence, they've lost their last 5 games, including that big loss to UConn and then a loss to DePaul, which happened right before the UConn-Marquette game, and that was just sad. That honestly, it's been a rough season for Providence. A lot of injuries. Obviously, Bryce Hopkins a big one, but rough season. Butler has lost 4 straight. Their last win came over DePaul of all teams, but they played St. John's, Villanova, Xavier, and Creighton to end the season.
Yeah.
4 of the top 6 teams in the Big East, so can't really complain much there. But Providence has just been all-time bad. I think Butler is going to take this one. Spread's only minus 1.5, but I think Butler takes this one outright. I just don't think Providence has it in them to win a Big East tournament game this year.
I 100% agree with Brady there. Providence has not had a great past 2 years. I think next year Kim English is in the hot seat for sure.
Yeah.
Give
him a healthy team.
Give him a healthy team. We saw what he did a couple of years ago. Oh no, that was Ed Cooley. What he did, I completely lied. That was Ed Cooley. Anyways, this Providence team injured, not good this year. Jaden Pierre, I think he's their leading scorer, and he's averaging 12 points.
Yeah.
They're not good this year. They're not going to do anything. I like the Butler pick. And so, for my upset of the week, going off more ball knowledge that we have, I have Rutgers at minus 110 over USC. Now, I know you're thinking, how is that an upset? USC's minus 125. This is the first round of the Big Ten championship. They beat USC earlier this year by 10. This Rutgers team just has star power. You see it all the time in March. Freshmen just come alive and play better. Dylan Harper is averaging 19 points. Keep in mind, they have Ace Bailey. They have 2 of the top 3 picks in this year's NBA draft. I'm calling it now. This Rutgers team, they lost by 5 to Bama. They lost by 4 to Texas A&M. These are both ranked teams. So I think that coming into this, and they also only lost by 7 to Michigan State, might I add that. This Rutgers team, their record doesn't show how good they are. They're very talented, and if they can figure it out tonight, they can get hot. I think they could make a little run in that Big Ten tournament. I think they could. So give me Rutgers at -110 over USC.
I like that a lot. I think Rutgers definitely has enough to win a couple games in that tournament, and like you said, maybe even go on a run. I mean, Big Ten, pretty solid conference this year, but a lot of disappointing teams. Rutgers was one of them, but who knows? Yeah. March is a different time, and last night there was a losing team that made its March Madness. St. Francis PA over CCSU.
Shout out the NEC, by the way.
Yeah, shout out the NEC. And
46 points was the win.
Yes,
March
somehow. But I think there's going to be a second team with a losing record that's going to go to the tournament this year, and that is the Navy Midshipmen.
Yeah.
Winning the Patriot League tonight over American University. I mean, this is a special mid-major championship. Navy versus American. Doesn't really get more patriotic than that.
There it is.
There it is.
There it is.
But here we go. Navy, they've been on a hot streak. They obviously 15-18, 10-8 in the Patriot League, but they won 5 games in the season, including all their games, obviously, in the Patriot League tournament. Wins over Bucknell, who was the #1 team. That was a big upset. They also beat BU. And obviously, American, they've been pretty solid. Obviously, they were the outright winner of the Patriot League this year. But their last loss came at the hands of Navy, 68-60 back on February 26th. Navy, since February 12th, has had 1 loss, and it was to Colgate. Now American has had 2 losses in that same time frame, and who are they but to Navy and Army?
Wow.
They can't deal with the military.
They can't deal with the military.
Which is not very patriotic of them, which is why I don't think they're going to win the Patriot League. Not actually, but Navy's been hot. I think they're going to stay hot. I think they're going to win the Patriot League over American. I think they're going to continue that regular season success over them. They've actually lost to Navy twice in the regular season, so
yeah.
I think Navy goes 3-0, and they're taking the Patriot League home, and they're punching their ticket in the March Madness tonight. Plus 155, by the way.
Love it. Love that pick. Absolutely love it. Yeah, go Navy.
Go Navy.
For my wild card pick, we're getting a little weird. We're not choosing the best player on a team to have their over on points. But I have KJ Adams of Kansas at 12 plus points, plus 105 versus UCF in the Big 12 tournament. Now, KJ Adams, past 4 games, has gotten 12 plus points, and 3 of those being against ranked teams. In order for them to have any sort of shot of doing well in March Madness, he needs to put up points. They're 20-11. They're not ranked anymore. I know, we can't really speak. UConn isn't ranked anymore either. But this is a team that were they the preseason #1 if I'm not mistaken?
I believe they were.
I think they were the preseason #1.
They were.
Check that. This team is not living up to the hype that they had at all. But in order for this team to do well, it pretty much revolves around how well KJ Adams can perform for them. He's only averaging 9 points and 5 boards, but this is a guy that can turn it up if needed.
They were the preseason #1.
They were the preseason #1. Like I said, though, he performs well in big situations, as you can see. 3 of his last 4 games having 12 plus points were all against ranked teams. So I think that just that in general, he's hot right now. They're giving him more looks. I like him to have 12 plus points tonight. Plus 105, lock it in.
I love it. Guys who get hot before March, they stay hot.
Alex Caravan. Terrace Reed.
Yep. Love it.
We have it.
Love it. All right, for my wild card, we're going to the loaded SEC conference.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's just
we're talking about arguably one of the best conferences in any year in NCAA history right here.
Yeah,
but
this is insane.
But we're not taking the favorite to win that tournament. Auburn's looked vulnerable lately.
I agree.
So we're going to #2. We're taking Florida to win the SEC tournament at plus 250. And like I just said, players and teams that get hot going into the March, they stay hot. And Florida's been one of those teams.
Absolutely.
3 straight wins to end the season. Also, they won, quick math, 9 of their last 10 games with 1 loss coming to Georgia. They beat number 12 Texas A&M, number 7 Alabama, number 22 Mississippi State. One of those wins also over number 1 Auburn.
Yeah.
And if we're taking a look at the path here in the SEC tournament for Florida, they get probably Mizzou in their game on Friday, which they're beatable.
That's a
They're beatable. They get Alabama after that, and I don't have any faith in Alabama. Obviously, their offensive pace is unreal, but that team plays no defense.
Yeah, that defense is terrible.
And looking at the other side, Auburn's got Tennessee, and honestly, I think Tennessee can put up a little more fight than some might think. And to me, Florida has the easiest path, and I think they're the hottest team in the SEC right now. Got to go with the Gators here, and honestly,
Absolutely.
I like Florida to win the Natty this year as well.
Wow.
I think
Wow.
at their best, Florida is a very, very hard team to beat, and I think they're if they win this tournament, they're definitely a 1 seed. They're kind of on that cusp right now, but Florida's definitely up there among my teams that I think have a real shot to win the Natty this year.
Yeah, I mean, going off that, I think me personally, I have another team in the SEC that might win it all. I think Tennessee's pretty good this year. That defense is really good, and currently KenPom number 1.
Wow.
Defense efficiency, defensive rating. That offense too is pretty good. They ended the season pretty hot too. You can't, like Brady said, teams that get hot in March, you gotta look out. Just like the UConn Huskies, hopefully. But yeah, SEC's loaded. Yeah, I think they have 7 teams in the top 25. It's just insane.
Yeah, they're gonna have like something along the lines of like 13 teams in the tournament. It's gonna be like the most ever.
It's gonna be insane.
It's unreal, and you have to think they're gonna have some success in the tournament this year. But
Absolutely.
you never know. It's March. Who knows? Who knows? But it's the best time of year.
Love it. Love March.
Conference week, obviously first round start next week. No episode next week, unfortunately.
No episode,
Spring
yeah.
break, but
Spring break.
we'll be back probably the week after with some
Some great picks.
some Sweet 16 Elite 8 picks.
Sweet 16, Elite 8.
Have a lot more development for you at that point.
Yeah, absolutely.
But for now, I'm Brady Levinson.
And I'm Alec Bean. Remember to gamble safely, gamble responsibly, watch college basketball. It's awesome.
It's awesome.
And make some money this week. And we'll see you, not next week, probably in 2 weeks. So we'll see you next time.